There it is. Hi, this is Module 11, the case study. I'm Scott Stardner, and I'm going to make it through with my voice whether I want to or not. All right. Summarize the case. This is quite peculiar. The new principal of Golden Oak High School, Mr. Rhodes, is tasked with the rise in attendance issues by students, and he has found that some of the staff are not even reporting any absences. Even the guidance director, the school counselor, um, they're not making any significant adjustments to declining student achievement. The athletic director, this got me, has supported and encouraged absences by varsity athletes, namely his quarterback, regardless if he's won state, 18 times or whatnot. Anyway, some staff are putting a personal slant, their own personal choice decisions on attendance policies for students. Attendance problems have been addressed by homeroom teachers without any input from administrators or school counselors. Mr. Rhodes has to correct this widespread problem. And right off the bat, I want to know how it got to this point. That was never discussed. So, who was involved? You're going to see this again, but principal, Mr. Rhodes, school counselor, athletic director, teachers that are near retirement, the athletic director, superintendent, Dr. Newman, social services, juvenile court system, all the students at the school who had 10 or more absences or 10 days of absences. Karen, an 11th grade national honors student who missed a lot of days because she got married. And the parents tried to have a meeting with teachers, and the counselors dropped the ball and did not follow through with that. Tyrone, a 10th grade honors student who missed 14 days, 5 of which were in D.C. with his parents, taking a tour while their mom was off doing business, and then 5 days with his father in Canada because, well, he's never been to Canada. And the homeroom teacher said, oh, good enough, it's excused. Christina, a 9th grader, missed 12 total days first semester, and she had notes written by her minister to attend out-of-town church functions. She also missed 2 major exams during this time, and it was no big deal. Carl, a 10th grader, took regular ed classes as well as vocational, and that he was even transported to those classes by the school. And he was found and even had a visit from the old truant officer, which found that the parents really didn't care about going to school. His dad didn't finish, so, hey, whatever. And his younger siblings were to be checked on for attendance issues as well because of that home life advice. John, last one, an 11th grader and the quarterback of the football team, had to miss every Tuesday and Thursday from 12 to 2:30 for PT so that he can play after he missed the first couple of weeks of the season, which is odd that it would be scheduled at that time because they would have to miss school. Usually you go in the mornings and get your PT done by the trainers. But anyway, that's just here. The AD has also requested that John miss Friday afternoon classes so that he can go home and rest before games. And teachers have not reported his absences as excessive. Shocker. Are there any legal or ethical issues? Has anyone been harmed by the actions? Yeah. All of the students who have missed the many days that they have in the one semester have all suffered low grades, and the school as a whole is suffering because of that. It also gave the appearance that the teachers for not caring to really enforce the school district or state policies and laws, on attendance. The school counselor has not contacted parents or returned requests for conferences and so forth as well about attendance issues and spiraling grades and getting married over the summer. Some of the students have been deemed truant in accordance to the laws, but nothing's really happening. Does the action or situation contravene an existing law? Yes, state law, that is. Teachers have not enforced the state laws on attendance procedures and policies. Therefore, they pretty much are breaking the law. Was there a breach of contract? Were there discriminatory or constituted harassment? No harassment, but yes, a breach of contract by the teachers, athletic director, school counselor, for not fulfilling their duties that they are required to by law, such as reporting absences and wanting kids to come to school, not go home and rest for a football game. Yeah. Um, the only thing the AD allowing and encouraging the quarterback to take a day off, that could be stamped as discriminatory and unethical because he was only allowing the quarterback to do it, and it was unethical because you're not supposed to do it. Um, wow, I hope this never really did happen, but I'm sure somewhere in this big old country of ours, something like this might have. Synthesize in one sentence. Mr. Rhodes is tasked with changing the culture of attendance and the perception of attendance policy by the staff at Golding Oak High School. Yep, that's what he's got to do. People, place, and program. Pretty much went over the people already, so I'm just going to kind of jump through that again. Place, Golden Oak High School. It's grades 9 through 12, very diverse student population, mostly middle income with a mix of lower and upper income. Low turnover rate for teachers at the school. Most have been there 10 years or more. There are 11 sports teams, 31 clubs. It's located outside of a larger metropolitan area. 85% of the students have missed 10 or more days. And I didn't type it in here, but I believe it's around 900 students. My bad. And then the program itself is a public district school district in the state that they're in, whatever that is. And it's a public high school that offers the normal course offerings, including vocational education. Review and prioritize. Could the conflict situation or decision be damaging to stakeholders or the community? Yes. The students' grades are suffering from missing instruction because of the absences, thus affecting the school and the community as a whole because, well, they're not getting any smarter and they're going to go out into the community not as smart as they should be. So we're not going to have very qualified workers, are we? And they're going to be used to missing days because of, I need to do this, that, and the other, or go home and rest. And that's not good for holding down a job. What individuals or groups have an important stake in the outcome? Obviously, the students, first and foremost. Better grades, better prepared for the next grade, college, or work for the community. The staff an important stake in the outcome because they've been using their own judgments to make decisions that go against the laws of the state. So thus, they could face some serious repercussions, including their job. The community needs to have better prepared citizens, and that school isn't doing that. We're not spitting those kids out, so to speak. Have all relevant stakeholders been consulted? Don't think so. Not all stakeholders have been consulted, starting with the district office to the parents. My understanding when I read it, I know the district office is involved, but as far as what's happened, no, it didn't appear that they were. Can I learn more about the situation? Yeah, absolutely. How did it get this way for all these years? Like, no one said anything from the district office. That starts at the top and that comes straight down. I understand there's a new principal, I'm it, but come on, like, really? How was this allowed to happen for so long? What was the reasoning behind it happening for so long? I'd like to know more about that. That would be interesting to know. And maybe I won't, because people above me will start to leave. Do I know enough about this to make a decision? Yes, absolutely. Identify the options and possible consequences. Um, well, first, take no action. Just let it go and do not rock the boat. Nothing to happen. Keep on the status quo, just smooth sailing. Second, install a mandatory PD session. um, on the attendance laws of the state, enforce the state laws on attendance and make it clear to the teachers that there will be consequences for not following them. Send out attendance laws and policy, to each student and parents and their families, and informing them of why this is happening and why they have to attend by these laws. Then a third intermediate possibility, um, have PD training sessions and ask teachers to follow the laws. Send information to the parents and hope they abide by them. Just, hey, let's make it happen, and here's what you got to do, and please do it. Thank you. And then 3B, another option is hire an attendance secretary that all notes and excuses that kids have go through that secretary. Buy a computer program for the entire school to use so that every student's absences will be tallied automatically. No teacher has to handle excuses and make judgments. It's up to the secretary, who would be trained in the ways of the law, to do so. All teachers have got to do is mark them present, mark them absent, or even tardy in their class, and all that's tallied, and the secretary takes the reins from there, and it's out of the teacher's hands, other than just saying if they're here in class or not, or late. And therefore it's handled in a proper way. Evaluate the options. First choice, pros: not disrupting the current school system. The way it's going is the way it's going to go, and everybody's happy. There's no change. The students do what they need to do. Go here, go there, go home and rest. Students and community. I jumped ahead. Have an appearance of an easygoing leader. Cons of that: I'll be viewed as a weak leader by both the district and the state, and possibly in the community. Um, for not making any changes. The students and community will continue to suffer from a lower than normal output of qualified students, and no stakeholders will be contacted. Second choice, pros: I will be viewed as a very strong leader, willing to make drastic changes to improve the school and implement the enforcement of laws that should have been followed to begin with. Teachers will know that this is a serious situation. They will fall in line with the directive, and attendance laws will be followed correctly as they should have been. Students will be in school more, thus improving their academic standing. The community will get students who are better prepared, not just academically to take on work, if you will, and life, but they'll understand how I can't miss 15 days of work and not expect something to happen. So there. Cons: it will be a drastic change. There will be resistance to staff, by some of the staff and even the parents. I would be looked like as a harsh dictator type leader, installing a complete culture change. May even lose some staff members for not following the state laws, or by quitting or retiring. Some in the community will see that I am, trying to change something that wasn't too broke, if you will. Well, the third, if you will, pros: I will be seen as trying to make a positive change without any real drastic consequences. The staff will know the laws, as will the parents, since they will receive the information, and all stakeholders will be contacted. And yes, in the second choice, all stakeholders will be contacted. The cons to the third decision: there are no consequences for not following the state laws. Not seen as a very strong leader by the district or the community, and not much would change without any true consequences. Okay, and the third B option: pros: attendance is out of the hands of the teachers and the staff, except for just taking the attendance in their room. No notes, excuses go their way. It's all they can focus on, just teaching. Secretary will keep up with everything, and so will the computer program. I will be seen as a leader who installed changes that were not as disruptive as they could have been to the teachers, but yet he is still effective. The cons: the cost. It will be a great cost to hire and train a secretary, and then buy a computer program to take care of the attendance issues, and train the teachers in how to use it. And so not all stakeholders will be contacted with that. So that's the options. Implementing, I'm going with two. Um, Step one, with support of the district officials, because I'm going to need it. And you can do this immediately. It needs to happen. This is, at Christmas, he's making the choice, the decisions to do some things. So second semester, here we go. I will explain that teachers will have a teachers meeting that is mandatory. Explain the changes that are going to happen in regards to attendance, because we are not following the laws and the attendance procedures. I'll then show them the data on the consequences of what has been occurring already and for the last few years, and how academics is, going down, and attendance numbers of people missing many days is going up. I'll then set up mandatory PD sessions that will explain the laws and procedures and why it has to be done. The athletic director will be warned that he cannot advise students to miss days for anything other than what they're supposed to as far as athletics is concerned, like leaving early for a game. Duh. Okay. This is where the district office comes into play, because I will separate the teachers, the staff, by subject area and split them off into groups so it's in a smaller number, and they will help, the district office will help explain to each group. Once that is done, I will meet them as a whole, as one big teachers meeting again. Here's where I will not threaten but warn. I'll explain the consequences that may and will occur if attendance procedures are not followed, such as a reprimand, possible legal action from the State Department itself of Education, or even loss of job or title, because you're breaking the law and you're breaking district policy as well. I will also then state that all students and parents receive notice of this attendance policy and the change of it and why, and they will be informed of consequences for missing many days. All stakeholders will need to know: staff, teachers, students, parents, district office personnel. They will all be informed. What may happen? Teachers and parents will be resistant to change, as per the course, but over time it will become accustomed to the new ways, and some teachers may quit, some may retire, some may even be reprimanded. But change has to happen quickly for the benefit of the students foremost. The staff, the district, the students, community will see that I'm a strong leader for enacting such a drastic change in this area, because I'm looking out for the needs of our students and our community. Do I need help with this? Yes. It's a widespread problem, not just one or two individuals, and the district should lend support for this. But again, I go back. How did it get this bad, and why? My plan B, I would go with my 3B option. And I would buy the computer attendance program, hire the secretary, train the secretary and the staff on how to use the program. It would be costly, and it would be time consuming, and it wouldn't be able to happen over the semester. So this would be something that would be the next school year, that, getting the program bought, getting the secretary trained, getting the staff trained for the next school year to start implementing this. So it wouldn't be something that would be immediate. That would be a problem, and it would be costly. But after it got going, it would work. That would be my plan B. All right. Well, that's it. I hope this was good. Thanks.